In a world full of movie podcasts, here is one more. Welcome to Defend Your Movie with Sean Donnelly
and Andrew Fiore.
The time has come again. The champion must stand. It can only be one of us. Victoria! So stand up in that, my friend. There's a title you must defend. Shut it on and on. Bring it to me. Defend your movie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Defend Your Movie. I am one of your co-hosts, the lovable Andrew Fiore, along with the equally, if not more lovable, Sean Donnelly. How are you, my friend?
Hello there, Defenders. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Andrew, great to see you, my friend.
Great to see you. Hope you had a fine birthday weekend.
I did. I think I'm getting too old for the model that is the birthday weekend. I went and I once again put out the word, hey, come to Patty's. It's a very,
Yeah.
I might as well be on a central casting. It's a very Irish person thing to do. Come to this Irish bar and just get loaded with me. And what I expected to, I had to go somewhere for a show the next day. I thought I wasn't going to get as drunk. I stayed until close once again. I cannot not get drunk.
You're a
at that
very
bar.
popular man. A lot of people, friends, comics all came out.
It was very heartwarming. Tons of comics, friends of mine from home. My sister came. It was very, very nice.
Oh, I didn't get to meet your sister?
Erin, I don't know if you met Erin before.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, she's a lovely person. I love her very much. She's really great, and she's a teacher in Brooklyn. She's a special ed teacher.
All right. Well, I know we didn't get to do this last week, but I did because it wasn't here on time. But I got you. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you, my friend.
I got you this. I hope.
I'm so excited for this because the backstory is he got it from Etsy. I really do appreciate. First off, I was even really moved by the fact that you got me the O'Hanlon's chips from last week, because we talked about it last week.
Well, that wasn't inspired. I didn't actually. I was purely the messenger.
Yes, but the fact that you told him that, and then he was like, "Have him come back."
Or the fact that I didn't keep him for myself.
yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, because you love that place. And then on top of it, the fact that you ordered me something and brought it in, I really thank you so much.
Please, of course.
You're a really good pal. What a good buddy. I can't wait for your birthday. Okay, I'm going to open it up right now. It's in a box. In true single guy fashion, there's no wrapping, and there's no judgment here. I do not wrap a thing.
There's not gonna wrap
You know how heaven sent those gift bags are when you go to Target? I'll put a car in there. I'll put whatever I can. I'm like, do you have a giant bag for a...
You know what I mean? In my adult life, I've wrapped something up with the comics part of the newspaper.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But those bags are I went to my friend's son's communion party, went to the CVS, or had the gift already, which was good, bought the bag, chucked it in the bag, got a card there, was all set to go. There's so much easier than wrap. But if I wrap, it looks like somebody wrapped it while they were... while they were having a stroke. That's what it looks like if my wrapping. Okay, I'm opening up the gift right now. Here we go.
I hope you like it.
I can already see what this is. Just to give you guys an idea, you're listening at home.
You're a master of suspense.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
It's something metal, and I see something that looks like it could be two twos. It could be it's the this is so perfect. It's the Ass Man license plate from Seinfeld.
You are the Ass Man.
Hold on. Oh my God! Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, of course. Happy birthday.
This is perfect. This is going in my room. It's so funny. You're I told you my sister got me something from Etsy as well, and you were worried that you might have gotten the same thing as my sister. She got me Dharma coasters.
Right. You told me.
Did I tell you about that?
Okay, thank God.
I'm like, I'm hanging those up. I'm hanging this up. This is going... Now I'm excited. Now I'm going to clean up my room and hang up all the stuff I have in my room.
Good, man. Yeah. Nothing crazy, nothing big. But
this is huge. What, are you kidding me? This means the world to me. Oh, my... Alex, how cool is this? This is this is out of control. Like the amount I have a few Seinfeld shirts, and I've always wanted to get... They had that Seinfeld replica apartment.
Yes.
You ever see that thing?
I went to it. Me and Dan Shackey and Joe List waited online. Do you remember a couple years ago?
I meant the model of it, but I mean...
Right.
Yes.
But they did a pop-up. It was when the Hulu or Cracker or whatever, when they were releasing the whole catalog, and to promote it, they built the replica in like.
They still have it on the lot, I think, out in the Sony studios.
Yes, but it was here. We waited for a solid almost 2 hours, but we walked around and we had good fun. Yeah.
Were you able to take pictures inside?
Pictures. They had the booths from the diner. They had a couple extra like little things like what do you call it?
Not monks, but like the
Fusilli Jerry is what it
they had those?
Yeah.
The actual ones?
Actual ones.
Oh,
you could
my
only
God.
get so close to them. You couldn't like handle them.
Right.
Yeah, it was great.
So were you kind of freaking out a little bit when you were in there?
A little.
Did you
well,
feel
it's
like
a
you were on
replica,
the
but
show?
you're in the when we like me and Shaqy sat down and crossed our legs and had the magazines open on the couch. You know,
Yeah.
It was fun. And like you stand in the kitchen and you're next to all the cat. You're like, this is feeling very surreal.
Yes, that's what I was wondering. And how does it sum up? Is it way smaller than you see it on TV? Or is it kind of like
it looks
size?
exactly like it? Well, it's weird. If you know what a TV set feels like, it felt like that. So you kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's only like half a room, and then it's an open space, and then you have the perspective of they had the bike hanging down in the back in the bathroom.
There's TV magic that happens. Yeah. Well, that's pretty awesome. I'm dying to eat. Now they have it out in the Sony studios. I might take a trip to do that. I think when I go out to LA. I would freak out. I think if I went to the Seinfeld. The
Seinfeld van.
Seinfeld van. What did he say? I think he said something to Sam. Okay. Did you watch anything this week?
I did not. I was caught up in all the Game of Thrones hullabaloo, which will tie into our episode, but I didn't watch any movies.
I used my AMC A-list, and I went to go see John Wick 3.
Part 3.
And I'll preface this by saying I'm already a big fan of the movies. The second one I did not like as much as the first.
That's what I've heard.
The first I love because it's so tongue-in-cheek and it's so funny. My favorite part of the first one is how the bad guy in the movie is scared of John Wick. Like when he finds out it's John Wick.
Love that. Yeah,
it's
like
so
the bad
great.
Russian gangster.
Like the hardcore Russian gangster is like, are you crazy, John Wick? Like it's amazing. So I love anything with like the fact that they're going outside the box on action movies by making it like aware of itself and tongue in cheek and a little bit and campy and like and commenting on itself.
And as another tie-in, his son, the guy who wrongs John Wick, is Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones.
He is, right?
So look at that,
yeah, I don't watch Game of Thrones. So
right, I know. Yeah,
so there you go. But so anyway. Then I watched the third one. Oh, did not disappoint. Not as good as the first,
good.
But campy as hell. The fight scenes, this is the reason to watch these movies, obviously. The fight scenes are insane. The choreography involved and what these guys must be doing. Because think about it, like you just said, like you're on a movie set, you're on a TV set. The glamour of the sound behind it is not happening when you're doing it. You ever watch a behind the scenes special when they're filming a fight scene? You're really hearing it like there's just two guys fighting. It's just like
none of the bells and whistles are added.
There's no bells and whistles.
Yeah.
So think about how not glamorous that must be while you're doing it.
Right.
But these scenes are insane. It's out of control good.
So let me ask you this: do I need to see part 2? Can I skip to part 3?
You could just skip to part 3. You just have to know the ending of part 2.
All right,
which also fits into what we're talking about. But like, do you know what I mean? Like you don't have to see part 2. I would say if you can check out part 2. Check out part 2.
All right.
It's still worth it because I still enjoy the world of it. But definitely check out part 3. It's fun. It's really fun. They amped it up. It's fun. There's some problems that we can talk about once you actually see it. There's little holes that I got annoyed about.
Yeah.
I was talking to Tom Thakar of Stand By Your Band, a friend of the show, and he brought up a glaring issue that I agree with wholeheartedly that we'll talk about when you see it. But definitely check it out.
All right, cool. On a business note, I would like to thank. I was with our friend Big J Okerson before your birthday party on Friday at Caroline's, opening it for him. Hilarious comedian,
amazing, one of the best.
Afterwards, was just standing outside, and I have to say, I'm sorry we didn't get each other's names, but we had another "Hey, I'm a Defender" shout out, which I loved. And I want to give a nice shout out to I don't know his name, but P Godfrey wrote to me on Instagram. saying how much he loves the podcast.
That's amazing.
So thank you so much, P Godfrey.
Thank you, P. Godfrey.
I hope you hear this, and your words are always much appreciated. And I love when people reach out and we're friendly. Yeah, it means the world to us.
It definitely does. It gives us an idea that people are listening, people dig the show. If you dig the show, or if you don't and you have some constructive criticism, send us a message.
Oh, yeah, he gave us a few suggestions, too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
And
We'll save them. I don't want to ruin them
yeah.
because we might be future episodes.
Cool, yeah, but Defenders, please let us know what you think. We have an email. It's defendyourmovie@gmail.com. That's defendyourmovie@gmail.com.
That's funny. He goes, I wrote to the email address. Nobody wrote me back.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry.
Shoot. The guy outside Caroline said that?
No, Godfrey.
Oh, Dave Godfrey? Oh, shoot, yeah.
Sorry, P.
Sorry,
we'll get
P.
better.
That's my fault. I was going through the emails, and I guess I skipped
But yeah, rate and subscribe and tell a friend. That's how this stuff grows word of mouth. So that's really the biggest thing is, liking everything. Obviously, subscribing helps the algorithm of iTunes and all that. But tell a friend, really, go, hey, check this out. Because that seems to be the...
Also, if you know of other movie podcasts that you guys love, that you think that maybe we should be a part of or we should team up with, tell them about us.
Doug Loves
and then
movies.
you tell us about them. Besides Doug Loves movies. where that's in the works. I'm trying to get myself... I don't know him personally, but in comedy, you're sitting there going, hey, do you know this guy? And I had multiple people go, I'll get you on that show. So you never know. But if that happens, that would be huge. But otherwise, let us know other podcasts that we should check out and maybe have the people on the show or whatever it is, like tit for tat situation. Now, do you want to get to the what
Sure, I'll
part
introduce today's subject.
And
the
what is
meats
it?
and the potatoes.
The meats and the potatoes
of the episode. Because there was such a big deal with Game of Thrones, the series finale, and a lot of people up in arms about the ending, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it. Either way, our producer Alex had an idea that I love, which is our favorite movie endings. I made a list. Sean made his list. This is not necessarily what we think are the greatest movie endings of all time. These are my favorites.
Mine is the ones that stand out for me for very particular reasons.
Yes,
for very,
I did the same kind of thing.
Original reasons, yeah.
So I have a list, and I have some honorable mentions on mine, stuff that I think kind of lean toward we all agree that that's a great movie ending, but this is more of a personal list for me, you know what I mean? So it's going to be very arbitrary, it's not in really any order.
So you're going off emotion?
Emotion plays a huge part into it, but mostly emotion, mostly just what I love, my favorites, Do
you want to go?
Not even in my favorite. I have different reasons for each one. So.
Okay. You want to go with your top pick, or you want to go with your...
I'll go backwards. I like the countdown, if you will.
All right, cool.
Again, it's not...
I have mine in no particular order, so I can just do it.
Yeah, mine's not in like a hard and fast order, but if I tried to rank them like that. The first one on the list is just kind of a cool story behind it when I was a teenager. Well, it's The Usual Suspects. And my reasoning is so when I was in high school, we were still going to Blockbuster and renting videotapes. And we had rented a different movie. I'm pretty sure me and my friend Nick tried to watch, we tried to rent Dazed and Confused, I think, for like the billionth time.
Yeah.
And we get home, and do you guys remember when you go through the video store, maybe if you're too young, but they'd have the censor so people wouldn't steal the videotapes, where you'd give it to you'd check out at the clerk, you'd walk through the censor, and he'd hand it to you on the other side of the counter.
Yeah.
For whatever.
It was like an airport.
Yeah. We got the wrong videotape, didn't even realize it until I didn't even look at the carton until I got home. I put in, it starts as clearly not Dazed and Confused. They had given us The Usual Suspects, a movie that I had never seen before. And rather than go back, we just I don't know, I guess let's just watch this.
Oh, so you didn't know about it?
We didn't, we just watched it by accident.
So is it just newly on video, or was like...
Yes, it was new, and I think they just handed us the wrong cassette or whatever.
That's so funny.
And it turned out to blow our minds.
Yeah.
We were like, this is insane.
That makes sense, because when it came out, it kind of had a low-key release, didn't it?
I don't remember.
I mean, it wasn't a blockbuster release. It was like Bryan Singer's first big movie.
I think it gained more of a following afterwards.
As it went, yeah.
But the first time you see that reveal
is huge.
Is insanity.
It's huge.
I've gone on, now I will go back and I watch it. It's not one of my really favorite movies, but I love it.
Got some great lines in it. Great character actors and great actors, yeah.
But
the lineup scene is still funny.
That first time you see that ending, you go, holy shit, that's a super cool technique, and that's... I've heard people claim it's kind of ham-handed and cheating, and I go, yeah, but I don't remember anybody ever doing it before.
Me neither. And
that I can think of. I'm sure maybe movies have done stuff like that.
And not not in a movie like that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a few years ago, I think I mentioned this on the podcast. There was like a movement to convince people that Usual Suspects is a smart movie for dumb people. Like they're like, it's not. You think it's this big reveal,
Over
and it's
yourselves,
not.
everyone.
Get a hold of yourselves. Take it easy. It's a movie. Fucking relax. Like it's just a fun movie. Nobody's ever sitting there going, "This is my dissertation on film."
Right.
They're just sitting there going, "Let me watch a fun movie." And also, like, fuck you. You didn't watch that movie and guess that. You did not think it was him.
100%.
Especially if you're our age. If you're our age and you watched it, maybe if you were a fucking film student and you know every movie in the history of movies, and you're 20-something years old, 30-something years old at the time,
you can maybe see where it's going.
I was like a 17-year-old kid watching.
I think it was
this movie.
95. Yeah, so I was been 16,
I was 17.
I was blown away.
Blown away.
You know,
I was blown away, and my dad, who can't. I was watching it with my dad, and he has to ruin surprises all the time. And he was right near the movie, the screen, as you're supposed to think it's what's his name, Gabriel Byrne. They're making you think it's Gabriel Byrne. And my dad goes, I guess it's over, or is it? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Dad. And even with him doing that, I still got surprised with what.
Yeah.
He wanted to see my reaction so bad to the end of this movie, but it's still a fun fucking movie. It's such
great.
a fun movie.
I love the whole Kaiser Soze still kind of still holds like a kind of a legendary status for me. You're just kind of like, oh, what a cool. I kind of want to see that as a movie.
Sure.
You know?
They actually probably could do that. Bryan Singer, if he ever had a comeback, and he could do that, like a prequel, a Kaiser Soze prequel.
Kaiser Soze.
Kaiser Soze. Everything's so cryptic in that. Like, there's so many moments where they're just flash. Like, even when he goes, hey, even the guy gets shot. He's like, hey, guys, the guy in the hospital. They just make everything so much more cryptic than it actually is. That's what it is.
Give me the keys, you fucking cocksucker. What
Give me the keys. What the fuck?
Right,
in English, please.
Do you want to go back and forth, or do you want to go through mine and then go through yours?
In true Donnelly, we can go back and forth,
Okay.
but we will. But in true Donnelly Fiore fashion, my top one is Usual Suspects.
That's your top? That's your number?
The first one I put down.
Okay,
first
funny.
one I put down. I can go to my next one.
Yeah, go to your next one, obviously.
And there's a reason why I love this one. It's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, wow. You know, a movie I'm not like as big on as you are.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
I definitely
had
love
a big breakup around the time it came out, and that it's always stuck with me as like the perfect movie to watch when you're lonely and brokenhearted. And also, it's a fucking genius idea, and it's Charlie Kaufman, right? It's Charlie Kaufman, and the ending, and if you haven't seen it, it just goes for if you haven't seen any of these movies. Before we get to describing the ending, you should fast forward or you should turn off the episode.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I think that's we'll put it on the thing. Warning, spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen the end of this movie, we're just going to talk, assuming that everybody's seen it. It's the reason why I love it so much is it's a happy ending and a sad ending at the same time.
Yeah,
because they realize what's going on. They both went through this procedure where they erase your memory of the other person that you were in a relationship with, and they both did it to themselves countless amount of times.
Right.
That's what they find out. And then at the end, they're like, well, we're just going to keep doing this, and it's fucked up. And then Jim Carrey's like, okay, that's it. So it's kind of this melancholy, apathetic, like, all right, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
And that's why I love it, because it's still, I always like, even though I'm a pretty positive person.
Which I think, not to cut you off, is what I would do, and I think what the majority of people would do. Because once you know you have that ace in the hole, you would go, well, yeah, then why wouldn't we do it?
Why
wouldn't we just continue if it doesn't go where we wanted? We've got this fallback. We've got this safety net.
Sure, but also, but they don't know they're doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they think it's their new idea.
Correct. It was like a glitch, right? It's been a while for me, actually.
It wasn't even a glitch. It was that. So they keep falling in love with each other. Like, I think I remember reading an article about it that they keep over time. They're just falling in love with each other like thousands of times.
So, did you watch last season's Black Mirror?
No.
Well,
They freak me out.
Oh, really? Well, then I don't want to ruin it for you, because there's essentially a love story. I don't think it's these two people sign up for this. It's not online dating, but it's basically you go to this like camp, I guess, or it's a sim. It's you meet. They match you up in real life with this person to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and
then through all odds and whatever they throw at you, you end up basically like, if you fight for this person enough, even to break the simulation, then what ends up happening is that's a simulation of a simulation. It's very Twilight Zone-y. So it goes, 99 out of 100 times, you guys both broke the simulation to fight on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like to go into real life.
So, like, that real life, what they thought was real life, was actually the simulation. And when they broke it, it was like, oh, now you can actually meet up. Because every time we put you through the simulation, you kept fighting against it and went on to...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it's similar to that.
I want to check it out. I love that show, but it really freaks me out. I think it's great.
Some of them are great.
It's like the new Twilight Zone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so as far as Eternal Sunshine, that's why I love it, because it's at the end, you're kind of left with this feeling of like, it's kind of it's screwy, and it's kind of funny, but also it's depressing, but also hopeful at the same time. So
Right.
They'll just keep doing this, and they'll be in love forever, however many times they're in love. You know, will it stick? You never know. You know?
Well, all right. I'm going to throw my next two are kind of a couple, because I don't think you've seen one of them. Did you ever see The Strangers? With Liv?
No,
yes,
because it's a scary movie and I won't
exactly
watch it. But I know what happens. They terrorize that house. Liv Tyler.
It's a home invasion. It's super scary. It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's a thriller. It's pretty violent, and it has just one of those one final scare moments where everything is like peaceful and tranquil, and then these little kids kind of find the crime scene the next day. There's blood everywhere. This young couple is dead, and they walk in the house. They're like young kids. I think they're like what do you call it? Mormons or Christian Scientists. You know, and they walk in the house and they're just like in shock of what's going on. And the one kid kind of like kneels down and looks at Liv Tyler, and she goes, "Bah!" And she like pops up, and it just comes so out of nowhere. You go. It's just one of those great final
perfect moment
scene scare moments that I've always loved about horror movies. Which brings me to my next one is Friday the 13th, Part 1, which I think you've probably seen.
I saw it a long time ago, yeah.
So we all know, forget spoilers, if you haven't seen Part 1 by now, it's been almost 40 years.
40 years, yeah.
Jason's mother is the actual killer in the first one, and the one surviving girl who kills Mrs. Voorhees survives the night. And she's floating in the canoe, and she wakes up the next morning, and it's a very tranquil, serene, peaceful morning, and she's floating, and you see the cops coming in, and she's even got her hand, like, trailing in the water, and then the little boy Jason, just out of nowhere, pops out of the water and grabs her from behind. I shit my pants the first time I saw it. When I was a little kid.
Yeah.
It's the one last scare of one last scares. It's my favorite one. We're gonna get you one more time
of that Liv one,
which is why I kind of love those horror movies in that vein.
I gotta be honest, like I would almost expect it, but even though
I know, but you never do. It's like even as an adult, I go, I should know better, and it's just like that. I love a movie that'll just go, guy fucking got me again.
Like the Liv Tyler one, like for some reason when you ever do a next day thing. That was next day as well, Friday the 13th. But the next day thing is like, they're gonna have like. They're going to give you a piece of info or something. That's what the review is.
I agree, but then there's also movies where, and I'll credit to the films who can do this, like when you watch it back, even when you know it's coming, you still go, I know it's coming, but it's going to scare me again. So when it's done well, they'll still get you every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. But, those do kind of fit together. It's that last, like...
It's that one final scare moment. So those are my two favorite kind of horror ones, which I broke down.
The next one I have on my list is... We talked about this... I got obsessed with this recently.
All right.
That's maybe why I'm putting it in there.
I wonder if it's... I think it's on mine.
There Will Be Blood?
Oh, I had a feeling you were going to put it on. It's in my honorable mentions.
There would Alex has it. I think that's a fantastic ending.
It's a great
ending. First off, you don't see it fucking coming. Like you don't when when Paul Dano shows up to his mansion, you don't think it's going to end with Paul Dano's head getting bashed in by a bowling pin. Like you just don't think that's going to happen. It also just really, to me, solidifies the ramping up of the evil of the character and him just not giving a fuck about people. Complete sociopath, just alienating himself even more. Like just the final straw of him alienating himself. And then at the end, what does he say at the end?
I'm finished.
I'm finished, which could be a double entendre.
A few ways.
It could be that I've crossed over. I don't give a fuck anymore about people. I don't care. And I think that was the point of that. And so symbolism-wise, as well as as far as like surprise goes, and just such. Also, there's a perverse satisfaction to the audience because you hate the Paul Dano character. So
Yes.
part of you is.
But you also don't really
Daniel.
want to root for this also awful guy.
No, you don't.
But you do.
You do.
He's the anti-hero.
He's the anti-hero. You're watching him going, yeah, fuck this fake priest. This greedy piece of shit.
This is my son and business partner, H.W. Plain. I used to do it all the time. My name is Daniel Plain.
So, but
Great ending, though.
Great ending.
Yeah.
And to pair it, just because they came out the same, it's not the same ending. But you have to talk No Country for Old Men.
Well,
They always go hand in
that was
hand.
pretty high on my list. So I don't know if you want to get to it now or.
We can talk about it now. I
Okay,
just
cool.
think that
Yeah, same
my
here.
reasoning would be I didn't have it on my thing, but the reasoning if I did, it was your reasoning is it's the book's ending.
It's
and they
the
never do that.
word for word book ending, especially with the Coen brothers. They never write that, but it's the actual. And then it's described. Well, he describes two dreams to his wife, and then the final one, which I love the last line. He goes, it's about how his father, as a young man, when he was even a little boy, he was watch his father ride up off in the distance to set a fire, so that when he got there, and then he goes, and I knew that whenever I got there, he'd be there. Then I woke up. And the movie ends right there. No music, just cut to black, which I love. It's
and
got
what do
that.
they say the dream's about? Is it about death?
I think it's no. I think it's about the comfort of having your father when you're a young boy. Your father is your hero figure.
Yeah.
And the dream he has is what he's realizing now is that he's 20 years older than his father when his father died.
Right. Yeah.
And now he's the old man, and when he wakes up, he struggles. He can't now face like the world of chaos and violence that's around him, this new world. So he's lost.
Yeah.
And rather than like the comfort
It's
that
kind
you
of the
had
same-
with your father when you were a little boy, it's become too dangerous now, the world, and he retires because he's defeated. You
Well,
know?
I'll tell you, as we're talking about it, it kind of is similar to the There Blood then, because it's kind of the idea of evil taking over.
The evil guy, the bad guy won. He got away.
Yeah,
Anton
yeah,
Figure gets
yeah,
away,
yep.
and he just goes, "What I've seen, I can't. This is no country for. It's beyond. It's taken over. It's beyond me."
And I gotta be honest, man, my dad died when he was 53. When I get past that point, that I'm kind of dreading that because it'll
Sure.
be weird for me, and it'll be a very strange.
I can't imagine, of
very
course.
strange thing. Not to get too morbid, but I
No,
think
but-
that's super interesting. And I tried to read some stuff on that, but I think they were talking about the idea of. I think it's supposed to be like the idea of evil taking over.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's awesome. Yeah. What do you have next? On
I
that?
have Boogie Nights next.
As the ending? Oh, that's a very.
I love the ending. It's kind of more as the ending as like the last 10 minutes because it goes through. He lives in the seediest industry in the world, and then he becomes the seediest of the seedy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he gets he's drugged out on meth. He's robbing and not killing people, but then he gets to his low, his rock bottom. He's jerking off in front of strangers for money, and he gets beaten. And
yeah.
it just comes around full circle where he cleans up, and it's just a redemption story where
Or even a family story.
it's a little bit where it's they kind of all are redeemed, but even it's still redeemed in a shitty world. You know what I mean? They're still in this terrible industry,
Yes.
but it puts a positive spin on it, and that's why I love it because you are all in. When he's back, he kind of just does his karate move and he takes out his the thing that brought him here, which is his huge cock, and it's just kind of he's back to
full circle.
wherever you want to plateau it.
Yeah.
Which you go, I'm so happy, but are you? Because it's still not a great world or maybe even a life to live in. Because is it gonna last? How long?
Well, it's also interesting to me that the option wasn't him getting out of it. The option was him there's no. It's almost like comedy in a way. If you really think about it,
that's what
Because
it's dark comedy,
Yeah,
which is P.T. Anderson.
Yeah. I mean, comedy, stand-up comedy. Like, there's a lot of people who, it's dark for them, and shit happens, and they go on some hard times, and there's no thought process of, I'm getting out. All it is I just want to change my situation within this
Yeah,
thing.
very
so
good.
that's literally what he's doing at the end. He's like, this is the most it comes full circle in a way, but it comes to the point where they're like, now we're just a family, we're a fucked up family where nobody's leaving. There's no point where it's like even when the industry takes a hit and the 80s come and all that happens, he's at rock bottom. There's never a point where any of them are like, we're just going to drift apart and go do our own thing and I'm getting out of this poisonous industry. They're just like, no, this is me. I'm in this.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
But we have it. People on the outside.
That's a great connection. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people on the outside have it. Like, no, you just stop doing it. But he's like, no, what are you crazy? Why would I do that? Because this is the only thing that has made me feel a part of this family.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of thing.
So that's why I threw Boogie Nights on there. I enjoy that.
It's a great ending.
Yeah,
I see why. It's kind of cool. It's also an epic ending. It's like, the movie is way more epic than people give it credit for because it's a localized story. But there's so many moving pieces that it really comes together. It comes together at the end.
It's a beautiful film. Yeah,
it really is. Mine, I'll tell you, was the first. I keep forgetting. Is it Infinity War? Infinity War. What was the first part of?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I know. Avengers. The one before Endgame was Infinity War, right? Was that it?
Civil. No,
Civil
I don't
War
know.
was before that. So it's Infinity War. Infinity War. The ending of that ends now. Here we go. Spoilers. Ends with Thanos winning. It ends with Thanos snapping his fingers and erasing half the population of the universe. Okay?
Right.
Half of the population of the absolute universe. The reason why I put this on here, first off, it's a great movie. It's one of my favorites as far as the Marvel universe goes. But besides that has name a movie with bigger stakes that ended on that without getting redeemed. That's how it ended.
Yeah.
Now, in the first part, it was like a Back to the Future thing. But Back to the Future Part 2 didn't end. There was some time craziness. But I know it's a comic book movie, but that's the point. Like, you even have, even if you look at like the third Batman, and there was fear of them blowing up the nuclear bomb on Gotham, whatever it is. Like, this is half. It pales in comparison to this. Think about that. That's universe wide. I mean, galaxy wide. You know what I'm saying? Like, he killed half of every species on every planet, on every star, and everywhere. Yeah. So that's why I love it, because it takes this genre, like, you take such a hokey fucking genre and such a kids-oriented thing, and then you take it to the level over the course of 10 movies where it's straight up for adults, and you're straight up actually bringing some real emotion and some real actual stakes in this. Like, the way they did those movies in the past was like, the ending was like, hey, it was always going to get resolved.
Sure.
Even to have a comic book movie where it doesn't get resolved is unheard of. So that's why I love it. Because I'm like, all right. Not only was it a comic movie that didn't get resolved and it was a sad ending, it was like, hey, the world's over. How are we getting back from this? It's not happening. And you knew they would have to, but you didn't know how it was going to happen.
All right. Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Not one I would have gone with.
Of course not. Yeah.
My next one is a Stanley Kubrick film. It is Full Metal Jacket. And I just happen to love the dark humor of them marching through Vietnam, as it burns, singing the Mickey Mouse Club theme song. Something about that.
That's a symbolic thing.
Is so Stanley Kubrick, and just it. I point people to that.
It's Don't Fuck with America.
Well, it's that, but it's also. I mean, the
also,
absurdity of the war. We shouldn't have been there. There's a lot going on there. But it's just it's the happiest song in the worst place, in the worst circumstance in the world. Yet they're all singing it. I love that for some reason. It's a great ending. Not even my favorite Kubrick movie, but the only Kubrick movie ending I put on here.
The reason I don't know as much is because I've watched the ending maybe twice, and I've watched the boot camp part about 50 times. Right when they get to
I know, right when Arlie Ermy disappears. It's a different movie.
A lot of people turn it off at that point, and I kind of regret that I do, but I just do. I don't know why.
I have a feeling my next one is going to maybe be on your list too.
Well, here's the thing. We have to talk about a director, because we can talk about a couple of movies of his. Sixth Sense. I don't know if Sixth Sense is
not on mine.
Not on yours?
No. I understand it.
I think it was another one like that Usual Suspects. I think it changed the way that I think it had a lot of imitators. It changed the way. I think it's one of those things where you probably could have figured it out. You can figure it out with your movie brain now, but it kind of changed people's movie brains.
A movie that was ruined for me. I went in knowing.
That sucks.
I know. It really sucked. But still a great movie. You can still watch it again, and it even when you know that's what gives credit to the movie, it's a good enough movie where you can watch it again knowing the spoiler at the end.
Yeah.
And I get that why that would be on people's list. Personally, not on mine, but I agree.
He has another one that I think is another ending that's underrated. M. Night Shyamalan is, and people hate this movie, and I don't mind this movie that much. The Village. Do you know The Village?
Yeah, I know The Village. And
you know what the ending is?
Yes.
I don't think that's a bad ending.
I don't think it's a bad ending either.
People shit all over it.
I don't think the meat of the movie is great.
It's not.
That's why.
If
it were a better movie overall throughout the film, I think it would be more acceptable. But the ending sucks, but I like Signs as a movie. Signs was a good movie up until the ending.
Well, people hate the ending of Signs.
Because it's just fucking water. You go, come on, water. But it was a scary movie. It was a good,
scary.
well, you know.
When that alien comes out of the bushes.
Oh my God, that was great.
Holy
I saw it in the theater. I fucking went to hit the roof.
When he goes and he chops the fingers
Vamonos,
off.
children.
Vamonos. Move. When he chops the fingers off the alien under the cupboard, under the pantry, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary as shit.
It's a good movie. I mean,
it's
up
a great,
until the ending.
It's very Hitchcockian, that movie, up until the ending. You're right. But they did do a switch with the swing away and then whatever else,
Yeah. I okay. So, all right. So, Sixth Sense for you.
Sixth Sense is on mine because that's that classic,
sure.
That started the Shyamalan phenomenon.
I have Shyamalan.
Shyamalan phenomenon. The Shyamalan ding dong phenomenon.
I got a few more. This one might be on your list, but I had to. I love the ending of Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, Reservoir Dogs.
I love the Mexican standoff. I love it.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Don't You Point That Gun at
I didn't
My
even
Dad.
think of that. Yeah,
it's really not much else to it, but I just love that it's early Tarantino.
Well, it's
and
also
I love
interesting-
the acting in it, and so that gangster feel. I just love it.
Stop pointing that gun at my dad.
Point that gun at my dad.
He goes. I repeat. You put this already?
Yeah.
He goes. You shoot that man, you die next. He goes, Joe, I know you're hot. I know you're super fucking
pissed. Keitel is hard to do, man. Joe,
Joe,
I don't know what you think you know.
That's very good. That's very good. He goes, I know this man.
He's a good kid.
And he's like, Larry, I'm a cop. He goes, that bitch shot me, Larry. I know you're hot.
But a great movie overall. Just so fun and awesome. And
you think this man who did this service for us is going to up at the side and a fucking blue?
R.I.P. Chris Penn.
R.I.P. Chris Penn. Oh my God, one of the best scenes ever. It's a great ending. You're right. Also, it garnered a lot of questions over the years.
Absolutely.
Nobody knew.
Nobody really
People
knows
don't know if
Mr.
the Pink got caught.
Yeah, Mr. Pink.
You can assume that he did. Steve Buscemi. He ran out unless he either got shot or he got caught.
No one knows. I've argued that it's very... I've argued you can't put a concrete answer on it.
Based on the character, I would say he got shot. I don't think he wanted to go back to prison.
Yeah, I think
but
he would have shot
a
his way
worm.
and probably died. But
yeah,
no way of knowing.
But he was kind of a worm, so maybe he would have.
Yeah. I'll just do another quick one, which it's not my favorite ending by any stretch of the imagination, but I do love the movie so much. It's a great Silence of the Lambs ending.
Oh,
just because it's Hannibal Lecter's escaped, and he. Clarice's friend, she's like, well, he's escaped. Is he gonna come for you? And she knows he'll never come for Clarice. He goes, he would consider that rude. It would be impolite, which is such a great character. He won't come for me. He would consider it rude.
Yeah,
which I love. But then
really
he cut to him and he calls her. He goes, just like. It was almost like, hey, great. He was giving her the great game. He was like, that was a great game,
Yeah.
And she's like, Dr. Hannibal, I can't stop. He's like, yeah, I know, but whatever. Good luck. And then he goes, I've got to meet someone. I'm having an old friend for dinner, and it's Dr. Chilton who he's going to go fucking eat. Literally. Yeah, it's just fun.
It's great.
I love it.
It's amazing.
And the Buffalo Bill standoff is really fun too.
It is. I'll tell you, I have two of my list.
I got three more.
You got three more? Let's go through them quick. I have one of them I brought up because we mentioned it the other day because. I can't mention it, I don't think, now because you didn't actually watch. After Hours has a great ending.
Oh, no, you can go. I've seen it. I'm not as familiar enough with it. But
you want to talk about Full Circle? It's great. I think the whole movie, they basically the movie starts with him leaving work, and it's his whole night in New York City. And just by it's almost like a giant Seinfeld episode, because by all these different happenstance, he ends up, you think he's doomed because this lady puts him in plaster of Paris, and then Cheech and Chong come in, not kidnap him. They think he's a piece of art. They steal it. they have him in the van. They're driving all over the city. As they're driving by his building, the doors by accident open up, and he falls out right onto the front of his building, right by the front sidewalk of his building. And then he gets knocked out. The fall knocks him out of the plaster of Paris. He wipes himself off and goes back to work. It's a great, great ending.
That is a good ending.
And especially because the other day I told you they weren't going to do that. They were just going to leave him in the plaster of Paris, and that was the end of the movie. That would have been really dark. All
right.
And then go ahead. I have one. My last one. I have a reason for. Yeah.
This is a quick one too. Psycho, our former Halloween pick.
Oh, they find out that she's not
great.
That the mom's not alive.
Well, I was going to go more toward the very last scene when he is in the holding cell. He's got the creepiest look on him, and you can hear her voice. It's his voice in his own head.
Yeah.
But then him just staring at his hands and the fly, and him just going, watch. I'm going to show them. I'm not even going to hurt that fly. And then they're going to look at me and go, well, this person couldn't even be responsible for all this because she wouldn't even hurt a fly. Yeah. But the look. He does that. Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah. And then there's actually this ending's been debated a lot too because then the very last scene is the cut of them pulling the car out of the swamp, where it's like, they are going to find out what you did.
Yes,
but that's just going his complete psychosis.
But that's why he did it.
Yeah, but it's more of the cool shot and the fly and him not moving a muscle and the voiceover in his head.
What he should have been worried about is them doing a remake. He's like, they won't dare do a remake with Vince Vaughn.
Shot for shot. That would never happen.
That would never happen.
I won't die of AIDS.
Anthony Perkins. Well, easy, shock jock. Easy, Dice Clay.
They all know what happened. Come on.
I know.
All right, I have two big ones, and
go ahead, do yours because mine's a minor one.
Okay.
Let me do mine. We'll get out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Mine are two heavies.
I brought it up recently on the podcast, but I realized it is basically it's part of the ending. Crazy Stupid Love. It's another one of those surprise. You never see a quality surprise in like a romantic comedy. It turns out, all right, the whole time it's Ryan Gosling and Emma Watson. What's her name? Emma Stone. And he meets her, and he's like the ladies' man guy. Yeah. And he's teaching Steve Carell.
Yeah, I just don't
and
remember.
And the whole time you think it's two separate plot lines, but then at the end and the whole time, a couple times they're talking to Nanny or somebody on the phone. And it turns out Emma Stone is his daughter. So he's taking lessons on how to pick up women, and this guy's trying to fuck his daughter.
Gotcha.
Or be with his daughter.
I remember.
But I gotta be honest, I don't think anybody saw it coming. Like it was that well done of a movie that's why I like it so much. And it's a really great underrated movie. I think it's a great movie. So whatever, that's all I have to say about that.
No. I'll give you my last two. Same directors.
Okay.
You can guess.
Coens. Okay. So you have multiple Coens.
I have three Coens on my list.
Yeah.
Because they're the best. They're great fucking movie makers. What do you want?
What do you want from me?
Talent's talent.
What do you want from me? Ma, what are you doing?
The first one I love. This is a hard one for me because I love the ending of Fargo. I love when Margie is driving after the wood chipper scene. She's seen this most gruesome. She gets the guy in the back of her cop car. And she's just kind of speaking out loud. She's just going, for what? A little bit of money.
Yeah.
And she has this great, she just goes, it's
like a mom chastising
and
her
it's
son.
A beautiful day.
Yeah.
And then the really end scene is her lying in bed with Norm. And he just goes, hey, I got the 3 cent. They're talking about stamps. Stamps. And then he goes, 2 more months, Margie. And so it's just like, there is more to life. It's just it's love and family.
That's the ray of hope at the end of the fucking horribleness.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. It's just so simple and pure and sweet and succinct, and it wraps it up. And that's the beauty of the Coens. They don't need much to make greatness.
It's good versus evil, and she's good throughout the entire movie. That's what she represents.
Yeah.
I always wonder what...
And then I saw you on the TV there.
With what he said. That's what I'm saying. Okay. That scene when she meets the guy from...
It's so sad.
It's so sad. Didn't you figure out what it's supposed to represent again, or what it's supposed to be? Why they put it in there?
I don't remember.
There's reasoning behind her character about why they put it in there.
Oh, I don't think it was me.
I forget. Somebody, so maybe it was Saint Germain or somebody. But she's supposed to be the force of good throughout the entire thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then, which this one ties into... No Country for Old Men a little bit because it's a dream sequence. It's my favorite. It's Raising Arizona.
Well, it's a great ending.
It's my favorite ending. I love it. I love the dream. He narrates the dream. It's just so pleasant. The song, the score that they have, in the undertone.
Yeah.
It's almost like lullaby-ish. and he just, it's the most optimistic one of the Coens in the fact that this is going to be a happy ending. It may not come true. He may wake up, and that may never happen. Which, in reality, probably, him and Hai aren't going to stay together or whatever.
You know what has a similar, not as good of a movie, but has a similar ending? Is 25th Hour.
Yeah,
when he's on his way to the jail, and they show that sequence, and you're like, "Is this what happened?"
Yeah,
and
that's a good one.
Yeah,
Just go through the whole what
same
could
kind of thing. Yeah, what could have happened? Yeah,
and I just love, I love the actual quote where it just goes, "It seemed like us. It seemed like our home. If not Arizona, then a land not too far away, where all parents are strong and wise and capable, and all children are happy and beloved." I don't know.
Yeah, it's nice.
Maybe it was Utah. It's so beautiful. I just love that.
That's in your.
And then the music kicks in.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was a great, beautiful film. If you're a big Coens fan, or even a mild Coens fan, go back and rewatch Raising Arizona. I guarantee you, after a few years of gone, it'll shoot to close to the top of your favorite Coen Brothers list.
It's out of control good. It's such a good movie.
So Nick Cage had talent because he was able to pull that off.
Absolutely. He fucking definitely had talent.
Honorable mentions went to the end of Godfather Part 1 with the door shutting.
Great
I
ending.
love that one.
Great
Honorable
ending.
mention went to
That's
7.
That's another one of that because another one. It's almost like There Will Be Blood. I'm finished. I'm through. I'm through the Looking Glass. I am this guy now.
7, honorable mention. The Final Sin, Wrath.
7. I should have said 7, but we talked about 7 so much the other day.
Even Goodfellas is just because I love that. I have to live the rest of my life like a schnook.
Yeah.
And then Pesci shooting. I love that. It's just a great.
And people, you ever hear the theory? I think we might have talked about this on the show already. People thought that was Pesci being like, "You're a pussy now," or whatever. Like he would be killing,
right?
Like, but it's a homage to the Great Train Robbery, which is some old movie.
Yeah.
That Scorsese loved. I had no idea. I looked that up.
And Part 2, Godfather Part 2. I love Michael just sitting there after what he's all done. He's killed his brother, and he's just sitting there contemplating. It's heavy, man.
When he kills Fredo, that's one of the most brutal endings.
It's not far off after he slams the door in Kay's face with the children. I mean, it is heavy, brother.
She's like, as he's doing, she's like, Michael, nothing. Cold as ice.
So great topic, man. I love movie endings. It was a great, good idea, Alex.
Great idea.
And I know
2 omissions that I have.
Okay, yeah, please.
Taxi Driver.
That's a good one. It ends kind of. Oh, and I have another one too that I forgot. Go ahead.
And Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
I like it.
Oh, he's tamed by? Aren't they tamed by the end?
It's like, is he cured? Is he not cured?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I get too freaked out by that movie.
Yeah.
And
you really are a lightweight.
I am a lightweight. I know. You know what? But I'll tell you another one that I wanted to mention that I forgot, and it's a biggie for me, and it might even outweigh. If I had more time, I would sit here and argue it until I'm blue in the face. Michael Clayton. The end of Michael Clayton.
Oh, great! Yeah, I love.
You want to watch the tension from that movie diffuse in one scene.
It's a great.
You have
great
a scene
movie.
of him just sitting in a taxi. I get emotional. That's insane to me. First of all, that's great acting on his part.
The whole movie's great. Go watch Michael Clayton.
Watch Michael Clayton.
It's a really underrated movie. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
I think that was up in the. Was that No Country in There Will Be Blood year? I think it got lost in that year.
I think it was. Yeah.
Because any other year that would have won Best Picture.
Yeah. It was unfucking believable.
Yeah.
And the fact when I first saw that, I almost. I'm not ashamed to say this. I didn't cry.
Oh, I
almost
did.
cried. Did you cry?
Yeah, I'm an easy touch.
Yeah, I almost cried when he's in that taxi. There's something about the music that is being played, and you're just like,
how far is $50 get me? Just drive.
Yeah,
just needs to get
There's
away.
something about that you're like, oh, you're feeling like him at the end. Like you felt how.
That's not a spoiler either. This won't ruin anything in the movie.
No, it won't ruin anything. But you feel.
Right, I like to go in fresh. One final Seinfeld.
You feel him decompressing. That's what it is. You feel him like everything coming out. All right. Well,
wow, you got a lot. We defended a lot of it. Defended our endings.
Give us your opinion. Which one did you guys like? Give us some other suggestions.
Absolutely, because like you said, these are our personals. So I'm sure there's stuff like we left like a lot of Shawshank was on the but it's like okay, fine, that's just not for me. So throw us whatever you love.
Shawshank's a great ending, though.
I know we left off a ton, but like you said, this was personal. So
we can even do maybe we'll do like a side episode with some more endings.
Yeah, we'll take all the fans.
Shawshank I should have had on my list. That might have been up there. And that's at Defend Your Movie on Twitter, and then we'll also hashtag Defend Your Movie on Instagram, defendyourmovie@gmail.com.
And I would like to, this comes out tomorrow. If you're in the Saratoga Springs area, I'll be at the Comedy Works all weekend, headlining. And the big 40th birthday show.
Yeah.
Defender, I would love if Defenders came out. This would mean the world to me if you came out. It's my 40th birthday show. If you're in New York City area, it's at the Comedy Cellar's Fat Black Pussycat on June 5th. It's a Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. ComedyCellar.com for tickets. And please, it would be so much fun. Shawnee's on the show.
Yep.
Great lineup. It's going to be super fun. We're going to hang afterwards. It'll be a fun night. So
And
please.
will be tomorrow night. I'm going to be in Long Island. If you're any Defenders in Long Island that want to come out to Huntington, I'll be at the Cinema Arts Center, and I think they have shows in the cafe. It should be a fun show. I'm with Lori Palmentary, a Long Island native and a buddy of ours. Come out to the show. It's 9:30 show. Cinema Arts Center. Just look it up. It's in Huntington. Look it up. Google it, and the ticket link should come right up. I also have it on my bio for my Instagram at Shawnee Touch.
She's a Jaws weirdo like us.
Yeah.
She loves it.
We're at Showbiz Studios. That's showbizstudios.com. They have a YouTube page as well as a iTunes page. Check those out. And we will see you guys next week. We love you very much.
Bye-bye.
My friend, there's a time